Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 17 of It's All About Vinyl. My name's Mark Roland.
And my name is Push. 17, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is, yeah. 17 episodes.
What's the target? When can we quit?
I don't think we've got a target.
Oh, it's never ending then.
I think once you get on the podcast bandwagon, you can't get off, really.
Okay.
I did notice, funny you should bring that up, because I was listening to our competitor podcast, Ramesh Ranganathan.
Oh.
And he's just, on the latest one, said, we're taking a break in August so people can go on holiday. And I thought, should we do that?
Gosh.
Well, we haven't sort of planned for it, so yeah. I don't think we are we?
Maybe Christmas time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So today we've got, we're going to talk about, we've got some feedback.
Right.
We've got some lovely and interesting emails and messages, so we shall read some of those out. Later on, we're going to come back to that idea that we talked about of bad album, good song.
Oh, yes.
Good song, bad album.
We talked about this, was it last time?
I think so.
Yeah.
So we've got something to say about that.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll kick off with some feedback then. So we got. This is one of the nicest messages we've had.
Oh.
So I thought I'd share this one first.
Is it from my mum?
This is from. Is your mum Gaz?
No.
Okay. So Gaz Arnott. He says, Mark Push, please, capital letters, don't change anything about this podcast.
Don't get professional about it.
The real beauty for us, your viewers, lies in the randomness of listening to two friends share their memories of the music that they've experienced working in the industry over decades. No need for planning. Just sit in the booth with a vague idea of what you want to touch upon, then enjoy the roller coaster of shared memories that come flooding out along with your audience. Would really love to hear you both talk about anything to do with the 12-inch single format from the last 40 years, and any that you're most fond of, as it's the format that most of my large collection is made up of.
So this is the second person who's asked us to talk about 12 inches, isn't it? So
that's
we ought to do it then.
I think we said we would do it then.
We did say, yeah.
I think we might have mentioned it again more recently and said that we would do it. And now we're saying it
we got
again.
To do it, yeah.
I have actually been looking at some of my 12 inches. So.
When was the first 12-inch, do you know?
Yeah, I do.
When was it?
1976.
Oh, okay.
So, well, it's a contentious issue.
First commercial use, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but
let's keep our powder dry there, Push. Come on, you know what we're like. If we start, we start talking about it now. So we'll guillotine that right there. The priceless memories of racing home on the bus from the local record store to drop the stylus on your recently purchased 12-inch to see what the record company appointed remixer had done with the track you'd loved listening to on the radio. Sometimes good, sometimes awful and unrecognizable, but then sometimes amazing. That was the fun in buying them to find out. Love your work, guys, and just wanted to let you know how much you're very much appreciated.
Oh, that's very nice.
Isn't that nice?
That is very lovely. Thank you.
So thanks for that.
Thanks, Gaz.
What Steve-O Music Man said, as always, this was fun and informative. I could relate so much about what was talked about. Oh, so I've emailed you this time. So I think Steve-O emailed us, and I've got the email. Let me find the email.
Yeah, he talks about, if I remember right, because he emailed me, email came to me.
That's right,
and I sent
yes.
it on to you. Yeah.
So he says, hi Push, email to you. Really enjoyed the latest podcast, to be honest, loved them all. I like the organised randomness of it. Thank God for that.
Random, that's a word that's being used quite often with us now.
Organised randomness. I'm glad people like it, because otherwise we're screwed. Thought I'd email rather than post it in the comments, yada yada. Gigs I wish I'd attended.
Oh, right, okay. Yes, I did read this, yes.
Yeah. Well, there's 3.
Right.
2 were in 1980. A local guy used to run a coach to gigs. Often pay on the door, as you could back then, or they'd reserve tickets. He'd often come into Rafters pub, cool place in Corby at the time, saying, "I've got a couple of spaces on the coach outside. Anyone want to join us?"
Oh, wow, you could just get...
Brilliant, just down the pub. Oh, yeah, I'll get on a coach and go halfway across the country to see some gig I didn't know I was going to go to. Yeah, I wonder if Push and Mark will be there. And
it could have been.
Yeah, they won't know, and I can remind them in 30 years. Both, I thought, I'll go next time.
Oh.
So he didn't go.
Okay.
The first was Bob Marley.
Ah.
And unfortunately, he died soon after. And the second was ABBA at Wembley Arena.
Oh.
And they never toured after that.
Oh, gosh.
The third was Prince, but slightly different. My ex-wife and I... just seen him at Wembley Arena in the early 90s, an amazing 2-hour show. I thought, let's try and get backstage. But we didn't get in. But a guy said to us, I've got 2 spare after-show tickets, 50 quid the pair. He's doing a show in a club in London. I wanted to go, but she was the head of reason and persuaded me not to take up the offer. At the time, we just bought a house, money was tight, etc., and we needed to drive back to Rugby. Woke up the next day, someone on the radio mentioned Prince's after-show gig, lasting well over an hour with George Michael and Elton John performing. Oh. We were gobsmacked.
Gosh.
Ever since, I've never said no to something I can't do again.
Yeah, brilliant.
So, yeah,
that's excellent.
Nice he also says he's off to see this gig with Exit North.
Yes, now that's Japan connection.
It's Steve Jansen and Richard Barbieri coming together for a special live concert. So he's off to see that, and also he. Sorry, let me find. I've just managed to close it again. He talks about the worst experience at a festival.
Oh.
I attended the first 5 Futuramas.
Oh, right, yes. We keep coming back to Futurama.
79 to 83.
I mean, they were brilliant, but it was gruelling.
We spoke about these very early, didn't we, in the podcast, when you went.
Yeah. I think, did Steve say you did the first 5?
First 5, yeah.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah.
Quite scary, the Leeds one. But my worst experience, worse than that, this is even...
they weren't... The Futuramas were great. They were brilliant.
It's his experience.
Yeah, okay.
So...
Yeah, I think he thought they were great as well.
Like those hippies who were at the Roundhouse. Do you remember that email with the pile of Afghan coats for the creche?
Kids blocked on it.
Was it a Hawkwind gig?
Hawkwind gig, yeah.
Oh, sounds absolutely hideous. Anyway, but I'm sure they had a good time.
It was brilliant.
But I wouldn't have done. So it's very personal. Hold on a sec. Here we go. But his worst experience was the first WOMAD festival.
Oh, right.
Back in 1982 at Shepton Mallet. Until then, I hadn't even heard of the place, let alone where it was. He posts a review as well. Says he said, "What I can remember, we were going down via train, Kettering to Leicester to Birmingham, down to Bristol to Shepton.
Oh, God.
No national train strike, so we badgered a friend with a car to take us. He hated it completely, as it never seemed to stop raining in what to me was an agricultural show field. To be honest, it was worth going, seeing Peter Gabriel, organiser, Simple Minds and Echo and the Bunnymen. The latter got the drummers of Burundi on stage to do the best ever rendition of Zimbo.
Oh, I bet that was good.
So, yeah.
That's a great song.
There you go. So it was okay in the end. It was all right. Let me find some more. Oh, yeah. Blossom K6425 says Push blatantly ignoring Mark's great impersonation of Marquis Smith. I just throw that one in there.
Oh, do it again.
No, I can't do them to order. They're spontaneous. Chem69 says very entertaining. Mark's comedy appears to be improving. So that's,
these people you know.
So thanks for that.
They are, aren't they? They're people you know.
No, I'm not involved. I've never, honestly, yes. So, what else have we got? Sorry, talk among yourselves. Chem69 is a very regular contributor, isn't he?
Yes.
because I've got another comment from him here. But there's one from JD Smithy1 who said, "Hi Mark and Push, lots of different tangents explored today." Different tangents, organised randomness and different tangents. I like it. Mark, you never mentioned the Gary Numan gig at the Waterfront. I saw you at again on Monday night.
Is this the guy that recognised you?
This is, yes. This is
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, yes, who I was at the... So I'll set the scene. I went to go and see Gary Numan at the Waterfront here in Norwich. He's doing a tour. He was doing a tour, this is a few weeks ago now,
right,
of smaller club dates.
Oh.
And we bought tickets ages ago thinking, oh, yeah, that would be interesting. And then I thought, what's he doing? Is this like Gary Numan Unplugged? It's going to be Gary with an acoustic guitar or something?
That would have been a bit interesting.
Yeah, it would have been, wouldn't it? Here in my car. But no.
I was thinking you said club nights, that he would maybe do it in a sort of Vic Reeves club style.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was in my car. Yeah, but it's sort of Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, funnily enough...
He did?
No, there's an arrest. Have you ever seen, there's an arrest photograph of Frank Sinatra.
Right.
He was busted in like 1950 for something or other.
Just be careful here, but yeah, go on.
Well, he's dead, isn't he? Isn't he? He is dead.
Some of his associates may not be, though.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, anyway, that's not the point. There's a mugshot of Frank Sinatra from, it could be the 40s, I'm not quite sure. He's very young. And he's got big mop of hair. And, you know, that chiseled Frank Sinatra face. He looks just like Gary Numan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So check it out.
All right.
Frank Sinatra arrest. See if I can quickly find it. There is a chance, obviously, that I hallucinated this.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a chance this is completely untrue.
Yeah. No, check this out. Oh. I'm so correct.
You need to put this up to...
Yeah, I'll have to put it up. But
he does.
Doesn't he just?
Not side on.
No, front on.
But front on. He does look like Gary Numan. Wow, that's astonishing.
So...
Can we need to put that up in the... how do you do that? Whatever.
Yeah. So that's 1938. That shot was.
Wow.
So before he was famous, I guess.
Wow.
For being a wise guy.
Yeah.
Or something. What was I talking about?
Gary Numan.
So yes, and so I was walking. It's sold out.
Right.
A very...
so Waterfront, did you say, in Norwich?
Yeah.
So what's that capacity? About
700, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so pretty
1,000.
small for him.
Right, yeah.
But it was a Gary Numan gig, but just a sort of smaller thing.
That must have been quite nice, actually.
I think he really enjoyed it.
Because I can't imagine, I mean, what sort of size venues does he do? 2,000, 3,000, I'm imagining?
I mean, the last time he played here, he played at the Waterfront, which is the UEA University, which
that's
is...
about 1.5, 2.
Yeah, 1,800 maybe.
I think the last time I saw him was Town and Country Club. That must be 10 years ago now, I guess. Which is 2.5, something like that, 3 maybe.
Right, yeah. So it was interesting. But anyway, the point is, well, there's several points to this. One is that Mr. Smith tapped me on the shoulder and said, hello. And I said, hello. And we had another little chat. And he says, and then he commented saying, saw you at the Numan gig at the Waterfront on Monday night. Much better gig than the awful UEA last year. Good topic about records which are supposedly uncool that you're afraid to mention to mates you like. ABBA must be top of the list for me, although I don't even have any of their records. Push never mentioned his guilty secrets. Possibly Chaz and Dave, he says.
No, I can't say they were.
I have that Devo live record you showed. Shame the sound on it is poor. Well, I mean, it's a 1975 cassette recording, so it's an artifact.
What do you I mean, there's a lot of that sort of stuff coming out now, isn't there? Of like gigs recorded in the audience and stuff, and people putting them out. Don't know. Do you think that's a good idea? I mean, I suppose if you're an absolute freak fan of a band, you're going to love it to get it. But I do wonder at the value of those kind of things, whether or not you end up kind of just, kind of destroying your reputation a little bit because the recordings are so poor and the quality is so poor?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, bootlegs, we should probably have a chit-chat about those at some point, because I remember being fascinated by bootlegs.
Yeah.
And back in the sort of late 70s, when I first became aware that they existed, and these strange Led Zeppelin albums and Pink Floyd albums.
Are you talking about vinyl releases rather than the tapes that you could buy outside definitely. Camden Tube Station?
Yeah. Although that's a whole other ball game.
Yeah.
I first heard Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson from a cassette from Camden doing the Dangerous Brothers.
Oh,
that's how I first ever heard them. Yeah.
I saw the Dangerous Brothers.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had no idea who they were at all. They were playing. It was at the UEA in Norwich.
Okay.
I don't know what year it would have been, but it was part of a kind of like an event with several other artists playing it and a bit of comedy stuff going on. They were pretty mad.
Yeah.
A lot of hitting going on.
A lot of violence. Yeah. I can almost quote their whole routine from that cassette, yeah.
Gosh.
There's a Rick trying to tell the what's green and goes up and down goes up and down.
Right, yeah.
Gooseberry in a lift. There's about 10 minutes of him trying to tell that joke while Aid is hitting him around the head.
The thing about them, they didn't really ever change their set. It was the same thing. Everything they did was the same thing, basically. It was basically the Dangerous Brothers, wasn't it? But in a different setting with different names.
Yeah.
Young Ones was a bit like that.
Yeah.
Bottom was like that.
Quite similar, yeah. And Filthy Rich and Cat Flap. The sort of unnoticed of the sitcoms, which I thought was great.
Yeah. Just on the, I used to sneak. Sorry, I know you're trying to talk about Gary Numan, but
it's fine. He can wait.
I used to quite often sneak a tape recorder into gigs. I did it quite a lot.
Did you?
And have my own little recordings of things.
Yeah.
A lot of the Futurama things.
Did you?
Yeah, I've got.
You got your own bootleg.
Yeah. I mean, they were dreadful, and it was in my coat pocket. So I got caught at Dexy's Midnight Runners gig.
Did you?
With it and chucked out.
Chucked out.
Yeah, I was chucked out.
Wow. That reminds me, I did exactly the same. Hammersmith Odeon, the Tubes, which I think we mentioned before.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to bootleg that because it was around when I discovered bootlegs. And I put my mono recorder, cassette recorder, sort of under my jumper. So I was like a robot. And I was walking in, I was so scared. And I had this microphone, and I think I'd sellotaped it to my chest or something. And it was the worst microphone in the world that I just found in a jumble sale or something. I didn't know what I was doing. And so all the way through, you can just hear me commenting on the gig and the crinkling of the sellotape against my skin.
Yep.
It was.
I'm sure mine a bit like that as well.
It was not great. I don't have that recording
I remember
anymore.
I doing that, and then every so often Tony would, one of your mates would start yabbering away at you.
Yeah.
Shh, I'm recording.
Oh, well, here's another thing. So I went to see, that's just reminded me, when Kraftwerk did their residency at the Tate Modern.
Right.
2012?
Something like that.
No, 14? Whenever it was. I went to the Trans-Europe Express night with my mate Doug. And then not long afterwards, a very high-quality bootleg appeared online. And the guy, Doug, likes to chat during a gig. I don't. And anyway, are
you listening, Doug, for next time you get a gig together?
Yeah. And this guy must have been stood right next to us. Because all the way through it, you just hear Doug going, yeah, that seems like a really short set. Have they done the whole album yet, or what? And me just fastidiously ignoring him. But bootlegs, let's do bootlegs at some point. I've got a handful of those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of albums coming out, I've noticed, of radio recordings.
Yeah, I don't mind those because the quality's better. It's not great, some of them, but
they exist in this peculiar copyright grey zone where, because the record label doesn't own the master recording, the radio station does. And I think what's happened is those radio stations don't exist anymore. So the ownership of the tapes, which of course were bootlegs massively because they were FM, quite decent quality and properly done, doesn't really, there's nobody to pay.
No.
There's nobody to sue you for putting it out.
No.
So, and as long as I guess they pay the...
I suppose the BBC in the UK would own a lot of the rights of those things. I used to tape them off the telly quite regularly. Rock Goes to College and things like that. And the live things that they used to do, I think it was on a Saturday from the Paris Theatre.
Oh, yeah.
There'd be lots of the half-an-hour sets.
Yeah.
I've got tons of tapes of those.
Yeah.
And obviously John Peel sessions, lots of those.
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
all owned by the BBC.
By the BBC,
And, they come out that you can license.
Yeah, you
People
can
do
get.
license
You do
them.
get.
I did have a chat with the guy who's at the BBC who's responsible for that. We
sort of thought about doing
vaguely
something
about
that.
Maybe doing a reissue
Peel
or something.
Session,
Which is doable. But you have to clear it with the BBC, but then you have to clear it as well with the band and the management
of course,
and whatever's whatever's around.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, but these recordings tend to be American radio stations, I think, on the whole, because that's had millions of them, didn't they? So, but very interesting.
Anyway.
Yes,
Gary Numan.
Gary Numan's, sadly never saw Devo live, because we talked a bit about that, but saw the B-52s in London when the first album came out. Wow, brilliant experience.
To see them,
that would have been... And truly great. I'm going to come back to Devo and the B-52s because we've got another message about them.
Okay.
But yes, Numan at the Waterfront, small show. He did, I don't know how many dates he did, 5 or 6, I think, at smallish venues. He did 2 nights in Norwich.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, I did actually ask the label if we could do a podcast with him, but there wasn't time.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Oh, that would have been...
But we've both interviewed him.
Yep.
More than once.
I've only done him once, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's a very open interviewee.
Yeah, that's the word for him.
Yeah. Nothing off limits.
No.
He's unoffendable. I really wanted to get him on the podcast. And I thought, well, maybe we could just pop down to the venue and set something up really quick and do a quick sort of 20 minutes. Because I wanted to ask him about John Ducan. Oh, Don't Be a Dummy. I wanted to get, to close that circle. So it was a bit of a shame we didn't manage to do that. But next time, if there is a next time I speak to him, I'll definitely bring that up.
Yeah. Yeah, you've interviewed him 3 or 4 times, haven't you?
Yeah, because he was one of the first covers, electronic sound covers, I think, when we were still digital only.
Yes, issues 3 and 4 were
That's
both.
right.
We did him 2, because there was so much that we got that we did... a retrospective piece followed by a piece on that album that came out.
And we've done him twice in print on the cover as well.
Yeah.
Last one was last year. I've photographed him as well. And he was very, he's always very fun to talk to.
He's great fun to talk to. Yeah. It really is. As you say, nothing's off the... is off the agenda.
He said to me, I remember, because he was talking about that, he thinks he was a how would you put it? I think he had a troublesome childhood, and I think his parents didn't quite know how to handle him. Of course, it was in the 70s, and they took him to a child psychologist, and nothing really came of it because it was the 70s. Yeah. And since then, I think he started to realise that he might have autism or be on that sort of spectrum somehow, which would make sense.
Yeah.
And he was describing his experiences of that, and I think it probably fed quite a lot into when he got very, very famous of not really coping terribly well with it.
Right.
And when he quit at the height of his fame, doing touring, and then kind of rescinded that, and it all kind of went a bit wonky for him. And how determined he's always been, how focused, even in the face of, complete commercial collapse of his popularity. He kept going, and
that period was quite a long period. That went on for quite a long time.
It was a long time, yeah. But he said to me, he said, I've got these ways of coping, because I said, it must be really difficult. You're being a pop star, you're in these social situations all the time of dealing with interactions. And he said, I count in my head when I can look somebody in the eye. And I look them in the eye, and then I look away, and I count how long it is that I can hold that, because I've been told that that's how to communicate. Yeah. Wow. And and I said to him, are you doing that now? And he said, yeah. yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah. So he's kind of got this way of communicating, which but he doesn't have any kind of filter. You'll ask him anything and he'll be completely honest about it. Yeah. So
no, it's a very, very good interview.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah,
cool. Is there more?
Yes, there's this B-52's email.
So we probably come up to a break.
Yes.
I can imagine. So
let me find that. That is talk among yourselves. That's going to be. There we go. Episode 16, B-52s/Devo is the subject matter. Subject of this from Yan Obara. Love you guys, he said. Coming back at you. Love the podcast. Love your stories. Don't ever stop.
Ever.
Don't ever stop. So we can't. We were talking earlier about going on holiday.
So it is forever then.
Forget it. Like you, Mark, I am also a massive Devo fan. I too saw Devo B-52s at the O2. So I was looking forward to this lineup, but not the venue. I too wish they didn't play there. Lena Lovitch was the first gig I went to see in 1979, aged 15, at the Swansea Top Rank. But today you were talking about signed merch. My story is very on brand, pick attached. Saw the B-52s in 1998 at the Town and Country. That's the second time it's come up in this episode. But that afternoon, before the gig, the band were at the Virgin Megastore in Tottenham Court Road doing a promo event, signing copies of their new LP, Cosmic Thing. Cost me 10 quid. Fred, Kate, Cindy and Keith were there, but the best memory of all was getting a kiss on the cheek from Cindy.
Oh, brilliant.
I wish we had smartphones in those days. Now, when I read this, it made me laugh a great deal because in my household, there is a long-standing joke or amusing moment in dad life where when the B-52s played the Hammersmith Odeon a few years ago, and that was going to be the first time I'd ever seen them, I had a dream coming up to this gig, and all the dream was Cindy and Kate both on either side of my cheek giving me a kiss. And everybody in my family says, you just have... Is that what your dreams are like? You just basically dream things that you want to happen. And I said, well, I don't know, sometimes. But that was one of the best dreams I've ever had.
Fantastic.
And Jan has actually lived it.
Half of it.
Lived half of it. So respect.
Fabulous. That's fab.
You should do a podcast on bizarre things/stories that happened at gigs. I have a few of those. That would never, ever happen today. So, we could give that some thought, I guess. My year zero was punk too, but my guilty pleasure is Rush.
Oh, okay.
Seen every gig they've played in the UK from Moving Pictures in 1980. He's also a huge fan of The Residents and Yellow.
Oh, Residents.
I would love to know your thoughts on either band. And he's included a picture of the signed Cosmic Thing album, but no picture of the
kiss.
The kiss, unfortunately.
Well, he didn't have one, did he? That's the point.
Couldn't.
Actually, did that happen? Perhaps he dreamt it.
Well, could be. Or maybe it really did happen to me.
No.
Okay. Well, Rush. Have you got any Rush albums? Push?
Yeah, got a lot of Rush albums. I love the first album.
Oh, when they were pretty much a sort of heavy metal band.
They were kind of a
different drummer.
Boogie band. I saw
Neil Peart hadn't joined those first two or three.
Yeah, only one or two, I think. Yeah, maybe I don't know.
45.
I saw some great footage of him doing something quite recently.
Not that recently, but
no. When did he die?
He died 2 or 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, well,
sorry for not knowing.
To me, recent is the last 20 years.
Yes, absolutely. The other day.
He was doing something with like a big band, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
Astonishing drummer.
Yeah, he was very good.
I don't mind a bit of. Their first album I really liked.
Yeah.
I remember buying Hemispheres.
Yeah.
And struggling with it quite a lot.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
then
quite a popular one.
Later on, I got a bit more into them, but I never went as far as.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few albums, but I can't say I really know them. You know.
Yeah. Favorite Rush track?
It's probably. Is it Working My Way of the first album?
I don't know.
It'll be the first album.
What about Tom Sawyer? That's my favourite.
What's that on?
Could be. Is it on Moving Pictures or Hemispheres?
It's not on Hemispheres.
Must be Moving Pictures then. It's on Exit Stage Left, the live album.
Have I got that?
It's got a synth at the beginning. It's really good.
That narrows it down.
Because he used to play bass Moog Taurus pedals, and his bass guitar. And there's that Pavement song. You know that Pavement song where he sings about Geddy Lee?
No.
I can't remember what it's called now, the song. What about the voice of Geddy Lee?
I've forgotten that you quite like Rush, don't you?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, I don't listen to them these days, but I didn't listen to the first albums, but the ones after that, I was quite into.
Well, perhaps we should...
Rush.
Yeah. I can't even use that as a guilty pleasure, really.
Prog keeps coming up.
Oh.
Doesn't it?
It does,
Come on.
Okay.
Residents, yes.
Yeah.
Love the Residents.
Yeah.
And Yellow. Yellow were on the cover of an early-ish episode, magazine issue 22.
21 or 2.
That was good.
Yellow,
I think we've got a picture somewhere of Boris Blank holding the magazine.
Yeah, we have.
Nice.
We have some.
Try and dig that out.
Yeah.
He liked the magazine.
Yeah.
I really loved their art approach to everything they did. I thought it was great. The Residents as well, of course.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're sort of their theory of anonymity.
Anonymity. The big eyes. That was brilliant with the hat, with the top hat on.
And I really liked Third Reich and Roll. And they did. Was it? With that video, the black and white video, where they're all sort of marching around, and where they did the Batman theme, and they just played over the top of it, and then got rid of the original. It's hilarious. Brilliant.
We did think about Residents once for a cover of Electronic Sound.
They were a strong contender, weren't they?
We did think about it. We bottled it, basically, I think. It's a difficult one because I don't know how interesting let anybody who buys the magazine, who buys Electronic Sound and listens to the podcast, your thoughts on the Residents for us. We've interviewed them, but we didn't do a cover. That's an interesting whole area of what we spend a lot of our time talking around when we're doing the magazine, which is who should go on the cover, and why should they go on the cover, and then of course, if we put them on the cover, is it going to sell? Well, and can we get a 7-inch from them? And absolutely, music of some description. So it's a constant conversation. Yeah, quite tricky. So good. Anyway, all right. So good. All right. So shall we have a little break? Let's have a break, and we'll come back. And we'll do bad song, good album, good album, bad song, whichever. One of those. If you're enjoying the podcast, you can support us by going to electronicsound.co.uk/shop and buying a back issue of the magazine, or you could buy a record, or there's some CDs there. There's all sorts. Any purchase will really help us, so thank you very much. So just before we good album, bad song, we've just been delivered a load of Rush albums from Levar. From Levar. Are they from Levar? Yeah. That are out in our office. Caress of Steel. Is this one of the ones that you like? No. Well, Bastille Day is on that. And that's the only one. That, for me, that would probably be... that's the good track on a bad album. This is their third album. Okay, so, yeah. So this is... I don't know it, Caress of Steel, 1975. What was the second album called then? The second album was Fly By Night. Second album. With the... I really am not that familiar. So Neil Peart's in... Is that right? It was recorded... No, hold on a minute. Have I got this the wrong way around? Fly By Night was the second album. Right. I think. Yes, that's right. And then the first one is Rush, which we don't have a copy of here. No, this is the one that a lot of... What is it? How do you say it? Is it 2112? 2112.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fantastic picture of them on the back.
That's one way of describing it. Yeah.
That's in there, kind of look a bit like ABBA almost. In the, the white stuff.
Yeah. The 2112
the hairstyles actually. The hairstyle is a bit ABBA-like as well.
It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah. I love the side one is all of side one is 2112.
Right.
Overture, part 1 overture, part 2 the Temples of Syrinx.
Is that how you have
3,
to say that?
Yeah. Discovery, Presentation, part 5 Oracle.
Part 5
Oracle, the Dream. Part 6 is Soliloquy.
Oh God, there's more.
Part 7 Grand Finale.
Oh.
I lie awake, staring out at the bleakness of Megadon. City and sky become one, merging into a single plane. A vast sea of unbroken grey, the twin moons, just 2 pale orbs as they trace their way across the steely sky. So you're not mucking about with Rush, are you? You're getting the whole sci-fi weirdness experience.
Yeah. Thank fuck for punk.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose Rush was one of the bands that were, for the chop.
They were, weren't they, really? Anyway.
Okay, bad song, good album.
Well, this came about because I mentioned Bob Dylan.
You did.
Album, which is this one.
Yes.
Knocked Out Loaded. And Dylan's playing some gigs in the UK, which has been announced in the last week or two.
Are you going to go?
Well, thinking about it, there are tickets left, so I am thinking about possibly trying to go to one of the London shows.
You should go.
Yeah, I've never seen Dylan.
We should definitely go there.
Yeah, it's the last chance probably, isn't it?
Well, I mean, steady on.
Well, could be me, could be him, who knows?
Okay.
Got to the point where you don't buy green bananas anymore.
Oh my God.
It's this album is it's a later, it's probably mid-period actually. It's 86 it came out.
Yeah.
And it was so I got into Dylan from Desire album 1976. A friend of mine at school bought it or got it given to him for a present when it came out, pretty much. So that was the first Dylan album that I listened to and I got into. I knew a couple of tracks, like a Rolling Stone and, probably a couple of others. But
Norm of the Signs.
Yeah.
Subterranean.
Homesick Blues.
Yeah, that's good.
But I didn't really, that was the first album that I heard. And I, taped it and then I got really into it. And it kind of fitted in with me because my dad was really into country music and American music in a big way. He'd been my dad's first job when he was 12, my dad left school at 14. School was a bit of a didn't like school much. His first job was the shoe shine boy at the American Servicemen's Club.
It's like a blues backstory, isn't it?
Spitting on the shoes and giving them a shine.
Hey, mister.
Yeah, and I think that was from that he got into a lot of American music. And he had friends who were Americans, and he knew once he was in the army and came out of the army, I remember him having a lot of friends who were Americans. We lived not far from the American air bases on the Norfolk-Suffolk border, Milton Hall and Lakenheath. And you'd always have Americans around. I mean, I remember kids at school, when I first went to school, 2 or 3 kids in the school who were Americans, who were my friends,
Yeah.
And I think he got into country music. He got into like Johnny Cash, Glenn Campbell, Jim Reeves. He was hugely into Jim Reeves, the Nashville sound, which was a bit more kind of pop, mainstream than Johnny Cash or people like that who were a bit more kind of rugged and rough kind of stuff. And my mum really liked Jim Reeves as well. So that was in the house a lot. So country music was around in the house. And Americana was around in the house as well. I remember used to watch, it was also my age thing, like big things on TV at the time was Bonanza and High Chaparral, The Virginian, things like that.
Yeah.
And I was also big into Westerns. reading books. So I read a lot of Western books and things like spaghetti Westerns once that started coming through in the 70s as well. Loved all that stuff. So I think once I heard Desire, what I liked about Desire, the first time I saw the cover of it, he looks like a cowboy on the front cover, not like a classic kind of Stetson. He's got this felt hat on and this like fur kind of collar. And he just looks like a bit of a cowboy, but not like traditional with, 6-shooters kind of cowboy.
Yeah.
And I think that was it for me. And then listening to a lot of violin in it, there's a lot of kind of references to American stuff. There's 2 songs on it, Hurricane and Joey, which are both long tracks. Now, I got quite into the Dylan long tracks, like Desolation Row and things like that. And over time, I bought a lot of Dylan albums. It took me a while, but I've probably got the first 25 or so studio albums and know them pretty well, all of them. I'd say a few I don't. This one I didn't know. This was about album 24 or something like that. And I got introduced to one track on it by Alan Jones.
The editor.
Our old editor at Melody Maker, who was a massive Dylan fan. And this one song on the album is Brownsville Girl. And when I got the album, I bought it secondhand a few years after it came out. And the rest of the album is pretty awful. I have to say, it really is. And despite the fact it's got people like Tom Petty on it, it's got Clem Burke on it.
Clem Burke's on it, off of Blondie.
It's got Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics on it. Al Cooper, I think, is on it.
I think he is.
So there's some great musicians on it, but it's pretty shocking stuff, apart from Brownsville Girl, which is, for me, is one of my all-time favourite Dylan tracks.
Right.
Probably one of my all-time favourite tracks, full stop, really. Love it. One of those songs that if I hear it, if I play it, I have to play it again.
Right. It's like 11 minutes long or something?
12 minutes long, yeah. And it's an epic kind of story. It's a weird... Because it's not like a Dylan... There's a lot of tracks that aren't like a Dylan track musically, because he was all over the place.
Well, there's quite a few covers on it.
On this album, there are. There's a Chris Christopherson cover on it.
That's right,
which is not great.
Yeah, that's bad.
I mean, it was all done... Brownsville Girl was done slightly earlier.
Yes.
It was originally called New Danville Girl.
Okay.
Danville Girl had been done by Woody Guthrie, because Dylan was a massive Woody Guthrie fan. But Brownsville Girl, then this version of it is kind of, it's long, it's very cinematic, both in musically it's cinematic. He co-wrote it with Sam Shepard.
That's right, yeah.
But I hesitate to think how much Sam Shepard had to do with it, really, because it's very Dylan-esque in the lyrics.
Obviously, I'm not a Dylan fan. I didn't know this album or that track, but I listened to it knowing that you were going to talk about it. And I'd looked into Sam Shepard a bit, which I, to be honest, didn't know a great deal about him, other than his very famous name, and I was dimly aware of some of his work. But he was in New York in the same era, wasn't he, in the early 60s, as part of that sort of bohemian scene which Dylan would have been a part of. He was Sam Shepard was going out with Patti Smith in that era as well. So there was this whole kind of poetry thing, music, folk club, writers. It was all sort of mix.
And Sam Shepard got involved with Dylan for Ronaldo and Clara film.
Okay,
he was the co-writer on that, which. I think he was kind of involved with Dylan and around the scene. He was part of the Rolling Thunder review tour, which was, I'm trying to think when it was, mid-70s probably.
That's quite a famous tour, isn't it?
And so they were familiar with each other for quite a while, and kind of. But the fact that he co-wrote this, or he's credited as co-writer, but I do wonder how much he did. I wonder if there's a cinematic feel to the song is long, as you say. It builds and builds and builds. The second half has got a lot of great sax in it that kind of comes in later on. It's got these gospel backing vocalists on it. And the lyrics kind of go from it starts off talking about a Gregory Peck film, The Gunfighter, which is what appealed to me. It was like a Western, one of the famous Westerns from the early 50s, that was. And then he talks about seeing this film and about what it was about.
There's a movie I saw. I think I slept through it twice.
Well, that was later on. He keeps coming back to the movie. So he starts off with the movie, then he goes on to something else. There's like a road trip around Texas.
Yeah.
Brownsville is a town or a city in the very south of Texas, right on the border with Mexico. It's the southernmost point of Texas. And he talks about San Antonio and Amarillo. They go to a wrecking lot outside Amarillo to meet Henry Porter, but Henry's not there. So, and it's all about a lost love of his. And then he comes back to the film again. And he's in the film now. He's in this film with Gregory Peck. And then there's a kind of like a shootout happens, and suddenly Dylan, is the narrator, is in court. And he's got somebody there who's talking about him, giving him an alibi. And then he goes back to the film again, and this time he's standing in line, ready to watch the film, that line you said. So the whole thing about the film, the road trip, the girl, he's got a new girl now, and it's all mixed up and confused.
Sounds like Sam and Bobby were hanging out and having an evening of it.
Quite possibly. The thing about it is that it's so Dylan. The whole contradiction, conflict, confusion in lyrics, one line kind of confusing with something earlier on and echoing. So it's very Dylan in that sense. I think that's why I really like it, because you're never quite sure what's going on with it.
It's pretty much as well the same riff all the way through.
It is.
It's just the same, it just sort of changes in its ornamentations. And there's a bit of a clip on YouTube of Ira Ingberg, I think his name was. He was the guitar player on it. And he played with Dylan a lot over the years, on and off, bits and pieces here and there. He was an LA session musician. And he talks about it being 4 chords, and it's the same thing throughout. It doesn't change. It's just the kind of dynamics of it change. Yeah.
And it is the one thing. And he talks a bit about where at one point they kind of realised that Dylan goes, I'm a verse short. So they kind of go, okay, well, we'll hold off and, we'll come back to it, do something else for a while and, come back and revisit in a couple of days. And Dylan goes, no, it's fine. And he talks about how Dylan goes into a corner and he says he's got the smallest bit of paper and the smallest pen, and he's there for 5 minutes just scribbling. And he comes back and he's got another verse. And they say they do it, and it's long because the verses are really long. There's kind of 4 choruses and these long verses. And he says, and he got this, and it was brilliant. And it kind of took it somewhere else again. But and he said this is why he's Bob Dylan. I realised at that point this is what he does.
Yeah,
he didn't need to go somewhere and get the muse. He just kind of went, okay, here we go, and he got it.
Maybe that's why he got his Nobel Prize.
Yes, you told me about this, and I didn't know that he'd won a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, he got a Nobel Prize. Let me just find that for literature, I think. Bob Dylan wins Nobel Prize in Literature. This is 2016.
Okay.
Singer-songwriter takes award for having created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. I think I probably misunderstood it slightly. I thought he'd been given a Nobel Prize for poetry.
Right.
And I remember thinking, well, I don't think he should have a Nobel Prize for poetry because he's not a poet. And I think we had a discussion about this after you mentioned this, not because I don't think he's great and that his writing is brilliant, but because they're not poems. They're written as songs.
Yeah, they are.
And my feeling about it was that, well, why doesn't he get a Nobel Prize for songwriting? Because that's a noble tradition, and it's almost like, we have to call it poetry or literature in order for it to be noble enough for a Nobel. Right. And I think, well, so
it was for a song, right? For being a songwriter, then effectively, was it?
Well,
it's not for poetry.
It's for literature.
Okay.
So they sort of massaged the meaning, I suppose, a little bit to give it to him in a way, by saying that he has expressed all these sort of fabulous ideas through a song. But yeah, I remember thinking, that's fair enough. It's as I actually sort of pay attention and read about it a bit more, I think, oh yeah, fair enough, actually, rather than my knee-jerk reaction. But I think my original point sort of stands, which is that somehow songwriting has to be called poetry for it to be taken to elevate it to the sort of high arts, Whereas I think that songwriting is a high art, and well, it's both, isn't it? It can be all sorts, like novels can be. They can.
I suppose it's you can separate, if you separate the music with Dylan from the song. I don't think they scan particularly well. It's his delivery apart from anything else.
Yeah, lyrics and music in songwriting, they're entwined, and to remove one from the other sort of doesn't make sense.
No.
They're conceived together.
No.
So yeah.
So anyway, that's sort of bad album. Pretty weird. Well, just quick thing about it is that the whole thing about confusion. I mean, Dylan's quite secretive in his life, and quite private.
Yeah.
In his individual, and he has sort of like told different stories about himself to different people. So you're never quite clear about what is the truth.
His whole story is.
That's what he does in lyrics as well, in a big way. There's a line in it. At one point, they go to a wrecking lot outside Amarillo to meet Henry Porter. And there's endless stuff on the internet about who Henry Porter was amongst the Dylan fans. And there's a line then, Henry's not there, so they don't see him. And they see his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and they talk to her for a bit. There's a bit section about her. But then towards the end of the song, it comes back to Henry Porter. And I think the line is something like, the only thing we knew about Henry Porter, the only thing we really knew for sure about Henry Porter was his name wasn't Henry Porter. And that's a bit like Dylan.
Yeah, because his name's not Dylan.
The only thing we know about Bob Dylan is his name wasn't Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because one of the things that in the reality of his life, of Dylan's life at the time, is that one of the backing singers, Carolyn Dennis, just before that song was recorded, he had a child. Dylan had and married, and Caroline Dennis was Caroline Dylan. She was his second wife, but nobody knew about this until many, many years later. Like almost 15, 20 years later, before it came out in a book that he'd been married.
Blimey.
To this one of the backing singers on the album, she'd been singing with him for quite a few years.
Right. Wow.
And that's the sort of the secretive private. I say secret, it's more private.
Yeah.
The way that he would throw out things about himself in lyrics as well. That you think, is that right?
Yeah.
How does that scan with that?
There's a sort of whole Dylanology, isn't there?
It's one of the things I like about him, because you look at the song and you kind of, what's that about? Is that about this? And he doesn't say what it is about.
Do you want some knocked out, loaded
thoughts?
Facts and thoughts?
Yeah.
It's his worst performing album in the charts since his debut.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so, because no one knew who he was when his debut album came out, so it didn't do very well. Also, his most poorly received critically.
Right.
Pretty much. 1986. My thoughts about it were I really liked the artwork.
Right.
I really like that pulp kind of novel thing.
With
the lady about to smash the geezer over the head. Side 1 I've written here is not good. Side 2 is better. But I also say very few artists of his era came out of the 80s well. It was a bad period. The production is really grim, I think. Apart from, actually, Side 2 is a lot better than Side 1.
It's all over the place though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It doesn't sound coherent as an album at all. It's got this sort of big sort of snare drum sound on Drifting Too Far From Shore. It's like, let's put a 1986 snare drum sound on your album, Bob. And he went, all right, let's do that.
I have to say that this album...
That as well.
No. Look, every single track on that, apart from Brownsville Girl, you can play them now and I wouldn't know what they were.
Really?
I've never listened to anything else on the album apart from Brownsville Girl.
Really? Well, I mean, it's got Precious Memories, which... is apparent. I think it's Precious Memories is a sort of a traditional song.
There's a couple of traditional songs on it, if I remember rightly.
Which sounded to me like an attempt to do country music in a reggae style, which is about as bad as that sounds, I think. It's got some mandolins on it as well, and some steel drum. And I said here, is this Paul Simon's fault? Because Graceland came out.
Right.
But Graceland came out after this.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
What year did that come out then?
86. Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
yeah,
okay.
about like a month afterwards.
Wow.
But, they probably knew each other. So maybe Paul said to Bob, hey, Bob, I'm doing this thing with some South African musicians. It's great. I'm injecting new vibes. Maybe you should do that. I don't know. I don't actually think that happened, obviously. There's a Little Junior Parker cover, the first track, You Want to Ramble, that's not good. They killed him, the Chris Christopherson track. That's horrible.
They killed him, yeah.
Maybe someday the production on that is so bad. It's quite shocking how bad that mix is. Side 2, Got My Mind Made Up, co-written by Tom Petty, I thought sounded like a bit like something the Fall would have done in their kind of country truck driving mode, which made me think, what did Marquis Smith think of Dylan?
Oh,
just to bring up the Fall again and Marquis Smith.
Do you know?
Why not?
Any
apparently,
quotes from him?
Yes. To me, he said, Dylan is Bible.
Right.
Now then, I thought, oh, God, wow, that's like, Bible is, it's sort of, that's a huge compliment. But then I thought, is it? Is he just saying he's just a Bible basher? Because obviously he was a bit, he had a sort of conversion to
he did, but
fundamental Christianity at one point.
Those albums aren't particular. They were described as Christian albums, but I'd never really... Slow Train Coming, which was the first one of those, it's just a great record.
Yeah. So I don't know what he meant by that, really.
Dylan and Smith, it's almost like the kind of versions of them of the same kind of thing in their secrecy and weirdness and throwing out things that may or may not be true.
He also said Dylan, he can't write for toffee.
Oh, right.
But later apparently said he sort of walked that one back a little bit and said that actually they're both he and Dylan share going back to old texts for inspiration, like the Old Testament. So he actually saw some similarity there. But I was just thinking, like Marquis Smith, if he was going to, what's it called, a wrecking lot outside Amarillo, it'd be like, I went to a dump outside Bradford.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite have the same ring.
It doesn't
it is the sort of English.
But it is the same thing in a way, and also the playing with words that Marquis Smith loved to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Having fun with words and
I thought Under Your Spell, which I think is the last track on it, is it?
I don't know. Keep telling me, I have no idea.
Under Your Spell, it's got that's the one with Clem Burke on drums.
Right.
Dave Stewart's on guitar. Who else is on it? Anyone? Partly recorded at the church, which was, of course, Dave Stewart's studio.
It was indeed
North London, wasn't it?
There's a story.
There is a story, isn't there?
Do you know about the Bob Dylan church story?
Remind me.
So, so this was before. So Tom Petty's on this album. Mm-hmm. This is before the Travelling Wilburys.
Yes, because it sounds like a George Harrison song, actually.
Yeah, right, okay. So the Travelling Wilburys came out of this period.
Yeah.
Because Tom Petty and Dylan were doing stuff together. They toured together, if I remember.
I think that song you can really hear that.
Right, okay. Yeah. And obviously Dave Stewart is on this album as well. And that track, was it just one track? There may have been another track recorded at the church. But the story that I was told, and I was told this by somebody who worked at the church, that Dylan turned up to stay for a few days and record at the church, and he got picked up at the airport by a car that was sent by Dave Stewart, and Dave Stewart said to them to take him to this address just around the corner from the church, but they took him to the wrong address, and they dropped him off at this house. Mr. Dylan, Dave will be along Dave is here, or he's going to be along soon. Just dropped him off there with a bag. So Dylan walks up to the door of this terraced house in Muswell Hill. It was in Muswell Hill, wasn't it?
Crouch End.
Crouch End.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Not the same sort of area?
Yeah.
Anyway, Crouch End. This little house goes out the door, rings the doorbell, lady opens the door and he says, "Hi, is Dave here?" And the woman, whose husband was called Dave, said, "No, he's not here. He's just popped out to get a paper. Do you want to come in and wait?" So Dylan goes into this house and sits in the front room. Sits in the front room, and she said, "Would you like a cup of tea?" Didn't know who he was at all, just a bloke with a bag. He goes in there and he's sitting there, and Dave, her husband, comes back from the paper shop. Dave, her husband, who's a huge Dylan fan, and his wife says, "Oh, there's some bloke to see you in the front room." And he walks into this front room. There's Bob Dylan sitting there. Now, I've read that story online a couple of places, but I was told it in the sort of roundabout in the late 80s, so not long after it's supposed to have happened, by someone who worked at the church.
Yeah.
So I think it's a true story.
I can believe it. I think Bob Dylan is kind of wacky enough for that to happen, definitely, to just walk into somebody's. It was clearly not the right place, but why wouldn't it be?
Well, I think it was the thing. It could well have been.
Yeah,
I mean, Dave Stewart was supposed to be there, and David. The point was that he'd rented Dylan a house for a few days,
right? Yeah.
So it could well have been. Yeah. It was probably across the road or something.
They're just people.
They just got the wrong number, but happened to be a big Dylan freak.
Shall I tell my quick Dave Stewart anecdote and then we'll say goodbye?
Yeah, okay.
So I was in a band with Paul, and we played a gig. We did a whole UK tour with a band called Curve, who some people may remember.
Such a good band. Curve.
We had
not you guys.
It was a great tour, and the London show was at, I can't remember where it was now. ULU. Maybe University of London Union, I think.
Paul's nodding.
And Curve were signed to Dave Stewart's label.
Anxious Records.
And we had just done our gig, and we were backstage in our dressing room. I think Curve had played as well. And this guy with a lot of hair and dark glasses came stumbling into our dressing room and went, "Oh, it's a great gig, lads." And we were like, "It's Dave Stewart off of the Eurythmics." And then he took his sunglasses off and went, "Oh, fucking hell. Wrong dressing room." And fucked off. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Do keep your comments coming. Questions are great. Suggestions, your anecdotes. Bad song off good album, if you've got one of those.
Or good song off. No, there'll be a lot of bad songs on good albums.
Good, bad, what he said.
Great song.
Do it that way round.
On a bad album.
Yeah, I didn't get to say my one, but maybe I'll...
Quickly, what was it?
I had two. One was Loving the Alien off David Bowie's Tonight album.
Right.
Which is the last feasibly listenable album that he released for about 10 years.
Right.
And only because Loving the Alien's on it. China Girl's on it too, which a lot of people like, but I think that song's pretty bad too. It's an Iggy Pop song. Slightly racist. And Carouselambra off In Through the Outdoor by Led Zeppelin.
That's
an otherwise truly dreadful record in my opinion, but that song's great. Loads of synth on it. It's very exciting.
See, that's again a bit like Knocked Out Loaded. I bought the album at the time, listened to it at the time, and haven't heard it for years and years and years.
I bought In Through the Outdoor when it came out, very excited, because they hadn't done an album for quite a few years. Put it on, and I was... if only I could see my teenage face being gradually appalled by what I was hearing.
Dear.
Yeah, I was not happy. Not happy at all. Okay.
Anyway... Right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your input, and we'll see you next time.
Indeed. Thanks for listening and watching.